Matthew, chapter 27. When the morning had come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. And when they bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. Then Judas, who had betrayed him when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed innocent blood. And they said, what is that to us? You see to it. And he threw down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself. And the chief priest took the silver pieces and said, it is not lawful for us to put them in the treasury, because it is the price of blood. And they took counsel and bought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in. Therefore that field is called the field of blood to this day. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, and they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him who was priced, whom the children of Israel priced, and gave them for the potter's field, as the Lord appointed me. And Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, are you the king of the Jews? And Jesus said to him, it is as you say. And when he was accused by the chief priests, he answered nothing. Then Pilate said unto him, do you not hear how many things they testify against you? But he did not answer him a word, so that the governor marveled greatly. Now at the feast the governor was accustomed to releasing one prisoner to the people whom they wished, and they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate asked them, who will you have me released to you, Barabbas or Jesus, who is called Christ? For he knew that they had delivered him out of envy. When he had sat down on the judgment seat, his wife said to him, saying, have nothing to do with that just man, for I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask for Barabbas and destroy Jesus. The governor answered and said unto them, which of the two would you have me released to you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate then said, what shall I do with Jesus, who is called Christ? They all said to him, let him be crucified. And the governor said, why? What evil has he done? But they cried out all the more, let him be crucified. When Pilate saw that he could not prevail, but rather that a tumult was rising, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I'm innocent of the blood of this just person. You see to it. Then all the people answered and said, his blood be on us and our children. Then he released Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified. Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the praetorium and gathered unto him the whole garrison of soldiers, and they stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him. When they had twisted a crown of thorns, they put it on his head and a reed in his right hand, and they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews! And they spit upon him and took the reed and struck him on the head. And after they'd mocked him, they took the robe off from him and put his own clothing on him and led him away to be crucified. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. And when they had come to a place called Golgotha, that is the place of a skull, they gave him vinegar to drink mixed with gall. And when he tasted it, he would not drink it. And they crucified him and divided his garments, casting lots that it might be fulfilled which was spoken. They divided my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. Sitting down they kept watch over him there, and set up over his head the accusation written against him, this is Jesus, the King of the Jews. And there were two thieves who were crucified with him, one on the right hand and another on the left. Those who passed by him reviled him, wagging their heads. They said, you who destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross. Likewise the chief priests also mocked him with the scribes and elders, saying, he saved others, yet cannot save himself. If he is the king of Israel, let him come down from the cross and we'll believe him. He trusted in God, let God now deliver him. If he will have him, for he said, I am the Son of God. Even the robbers who were crucified with them reviled him in the same way. And now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, why have you forsaken me? Some of those who stood there when they heard it said, this man is calling for Elijah. And immediately one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar and put it on a reed and gave it for him to drink. The rest said, let him be, let's see if Elijah will come to save him. Jesus, when he had cried out again with a loud voice, yielded up his spirit, and behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth quaked and the rocks were split, and the graves were open, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city and appeared unto many. Now when the centurion, those who were with him guarding Jesus, saw the earthquake and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, truly this was the Son of God. And many women who followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering to him to take care of his needs, were watching from afar, among whom was Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James and Joseph, and mother of Zebedee's children. When the evening had come, there came a rich man from Arimathea named Joseph, who was also then a disciple of Jesus. He went to Pilate and begged for the body of Jesus. Then Pilate commanded the body to be delivered, and when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth and laid it in his new tomb, which he had hewn out of a rock. And he rolled a great stone to the door of the tomb and departed. Now Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were sitting opposite the tomb on the next day that followed the day of the preparation. The chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, Sir, we remember what that deceiver said while he was still alive. After 3 days I will rise again. Therefore command that the tomb be made secure until the 3rd day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away and say to the people, he is risen from the dead. So the last error will be worse than the first. Pilate said to them, take a guard and go and make the tomb as secure as you can. So they went and made the tomb secure, sealing the stone and posting a guard.